The Romans are the only ones allowed to answer sent. Okonkwo can be a saint. Kofi that can be a saint. Kunta Kinte can be a saint. Amadi can be a saint. Ayomide can be a saint. Uche can be a saint. Chibike can be a saint. Only the Europeans can be sent. They have canonized it for themselves. Okay, listen, pay attention, Africa. You see, the Romans looked at the world eyeball to eyeball and said to the world, when you are in Rome, behave like the Romans. Behave like the Romans. The world accepted. We all accepted and swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. When you are in Rome, behave like the Romans. When you are in Rome, behave like the Romans. I went to an organization yesterday. They were messing up. I tried to correct them. They said, no, tongue crier. When you are in Rome, behave like the Romans. I say, no, no, no. I am the modern day tongue crier, the voice of Africa. When I am in Rome, I will behave like an Akebulan. I will not behave like the Romans. You know, we are easily to pick things that we don't understand their origin. Most times people say, when you are in Rome, behave like the Romans. We believe that that phrase comes from the place of good heart. We believe that that phrase means when you are in a place that is not yours, behave well. No, that phrase, when you are in Rome, behave like the Romans, was not born out of the fact that they wanted to behave well. No, that phrase is not born out of good behavior. That phrase is not born out of morality. That phrase, when you are in Rome, behave like the Romans, was born out of conformity. Let me teach you so you can understand and stop making yourself an ignoramus. And if you're a member of that organization yesterday and you are seeing this video, Stand Choir is teaching you today. Pay attention. You see, that phrase, when you are in Rome, behave like the Romans, was born and coined in the year 4th century, 390 AD. That phrase is attributed to Saint Ambrose of Milan. Make sure you add Saint Ambrose. Saint must be added because the Romans are the only ones allowed to answer saint. Okonkwo can be a saint. Kofi that can be a saint. Kunta Kinte can be a saint. Amadi can be a saint. Ayomide can be a saint. Uche can be a saint. Chibike can be a saint. Only the Europeans can be sent. They have canonized it for themselves. So who is attributed that word? Saint Ambrose of Milan. When you go to Rome, behave like the Romans. That phrase is not about morality. It is not about good behavior. It is about conformity. That phrase simply means, when you are in my place, behave like me. Irrespective of what I do, whether it is wrong or bad, just do it like me. That is the logic. That is the logic. Behave like them. So when you are in Rome, if the Romans are kind, be kind. If the Romans are ruthless, be ruthless. If the Romans are unjust, adapt yourself to injustice. That is what that phrase means. Not about good behavior. But no one dared to look the Romans in the eyes and ask them, when you came to our land, did you behave like us? Because when the Romans came to this place that we are today in the land of Akebulan, they did not ask, who are you? What do you people do? What is your belief? What is your value system? No, the Romans only asked one question. What can we take? What can we take? That was the only thing they asked because they were not ready to behave like us in our land. They only asked, what can we take? And before they could take from us, they needed to give us a bad name because our ancestors said in our proverbs that for you to kill your dog, you must first give it a bad name. So they gave us a bad name. What name did they give us? The people of Africa. They called us barbarians. They called us primitive. What else did they call us? They called us Shibolite. They called us people who behave in a primitive way. Shibolite, antediluvian, monkeys who deserve only banana. What else did they do? They took our artifacts and called it a good name, exploration. When they took our gold, what did they call it? Trade. When they enslaved the best of our men and women, took to their land to develop their new world, what did they call it? Civilization. They blocked the nose of our artifact system, syphilis, hid our memories behind their museum glasses in the name of civilization. The Romans in 146 BCE destroyed Carthage and called it Africa province. Did they behave like us? No. But the Romans expect me to go to Rome and behave like him. Because he believes he's better than me. I refuse to behave like the Roman in Rome. What about the Englishman? The Englishman, when I go to England, expects me to behave like the Englishman. But when he came to Umuofia and things fall apart, he never asked, who are we? What do you believe? How do you behave? They simply looked at us and said, the Ekwensu is the devil. But Apollo, Poseidon, and Hercules are all heroes and legends. Deserve a place in the Hollywood because they are legends. But Ekwensu is the devil. They never asked Okonkwo, how do you behave? They simply came with rope. Hung Okonkwo in things fell apart and told us Okonkwo hung himself. I refuse to be Okonkwonized by those who took our heroes. I refuse to be Okonkwonized from those who profit from our silence. When the British went to Opobo, he did not behave like the people of Opobo. He simply arrested King George of Opobo, took him to St. Vincent Island. But he expected me to behave like the English in England land. But when he went to Benin, took their artifact, he needed to make it appear pleasing. They called it British Punitive Expedition. Took out Obam Vadwan and Baisi. When he went to Benin, he did not behave like the people of Benin. Because if he behaved like them, he wouldn't have taken their resources. He wouldn't have exploited them. He would have said, Oba Ntokpe. What about when he went to his Sekiri, to catch Nana Orumo? He didn't behave like them. When he went to the northern part of Nigeria, took out the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Attahiru, and pied him in Brunei, he never acted like them. But they expect me to behave like the Englishman in England. I refuse to be Okonkwonized by those who took our heroes. I refuse to be Okonkwonized from those who profit from our silence. What about the Frenchman? When I am in Paris, the Frenchman wants me to behave like the French. But when he came to Wasulu Empire, he never behaved like them. He simply took us Samori Tule. When he came to Congo, what did he do? That is the Belgianese in Brussels. What did he take? He only impoverished the people of Congo, King Leopold of Belgium. But today, King Leopold of Belgium turned statistics into human being, turn life into numbers, cut people's hands for low supplies of diamonds on quota system. What did he do to them? He profit from their pain. Today, I go to Belgium. The people of Belgium want me to behave like them. But when they are in our continent, they don't behave like us. I refuse to be Okonkwonized by those who took out our heroes. I refuse to be Okonkwonized by those who profit from my silence. I will not. I am the modern day town crier. I will cross this border. I will go to countries and nations and continents carrying my African value. I do not reject coexistence. I do not reject respect. What I reject is submission disguised as wisdom. My people, when you go to England and they offer you burger, shawarma, tell them that you want fufu. Tell them you want abacha. Tell them you want tuwo shikafa. Tell them you want amara. Tell them you want onugbu. Tell them you want okpa. Tell them that you cannot compromise your convictions simply because you want to be compassionate. Tell them you cannot shrink your soul because you want to make some empires comfortable. Tell them that you know who you are, that you know the price you pay to stand for freedom. Tell them that Akeblan will be great. Africa, we cannot shrink our soul because we want to be compassionate. When they came to our place, they never behaved like us. We can't shrink our soul because we want to make empires comfortable. When you do wrong, it is wrong. Don't tell me to behave like you because I'm in your land. I do not behave like the Romans because I'm in Rome, because when the Romans came to our place, they did not behave like us. I refuse to be accompanied by those who took our heroes. I am the voice of Africa, the modern day town crier, bringing light to our people in the darkness. For Akeblan must recognize our true potential, whether you like it or not. It is Akeblan o'clock. I refuse to be accompanied by those who took our heroes. I, the modern day town crier, and my fellow Akeblan brothers and sisters will not behave like the Romans in Rome. We will carry our African values and dignity across border. Africa, wisdom is the principal thing.
Learn to be a teacher and not just a content creator. Just for 14 days with Modern Day Town Crier.